It's a beautiful Sunday, November 23rd, and you're listening to the Oklahoma Breakdown with Ikard and Lehman, presented by Riverwind Casino. Riverwind is Oklahoma City's premier casino experience, and there are so many reasons why Riverwind is consistently voted OKC's #1 casino, but it all starts with their amazing variety of gaming thrills and excitement. Riverwind's beautiful award-winning environment plays host to more than 2,800 of the latest electronic games with a huge selection of table games, including blackjack, match roulette, and Teddy's favorite, craps. No matter what your game, Riverwind has it in spades and hearts. And to learn more about their gaming promotions and entertainment options, all you got to do is visit riverwind.com. Riverwind Casino, always a good time. 9-2.
9-2. Love it.
Some would say winning is a skill.
Winning is a skill. Winning is a skill. Right now for us, winning is a formula. We know what's getting the job done, and it's not going to break any records. It's not going to excite the rest of the college football world, but we're checking wins as we go.
There is beauty in winning ugly.
Yep.
Now, we will discuss some of the issues, the many issues the offense is having in my portion. But I do want to get this out of the way. Ted, I would say you and I, we are a pro-unity podcast, correct?
Yeah.
We're all for unity. We love it. Bringing people together. Unity. Let's go. Yes. But we need to retire these jerseys. They're not it, man. The gray is just, they're not it, man. It's just, we're Oklahoma, man. We don't need to be wearing those anymore. I hope that is the last time I see the Unity jerseys. We can still support Unity and come out in our crimson jerseys, right?
What I was about to say is, if you really want to bring the community together in some unity, get rid of the gray jerseys. I think
yes. Make a formal announcement. Get rid of them. The entire country was watching us at 11 a.m. and no, that's all I'll say. No, stop it. No, we got one of the best jerseys in college football. No, enough.
Film, with as many guys as we play on defense, it's a guessing game as to who's who out there. Total guessing game on film. You can't see anything. It's just gray with you can tell there might be numbers on the uniforms, but you don't have any idea what they are.
I completely understand. All right. It was another just fantastic performance from the Oklahoma defense. It feels like they just continue to get better and step up even bigger for this team. Ted, what'd you see?
I thought it was just another outstanding performance. Played a bunch of guys. A bunch of guys played really well. Things we talked about, you have to stop the run game and force them to be predictable in 3rd and long. And we did that. 70 yards on 35 attempts in the running game, 2 yards a carry. That's winning football. And with what they do, we talked about how difficult this outside zone scheme is because it can hit anywhere. It can hit outside. It can cut back on you. It can find a gap in the middle. And you have to be incredibly disciplined, physical, which let me back up and say, once again, every time I turn the film on, you see that we are clearly not even close to the most physical team. And you had to do that to stop this run. We played with great discipline. We talked about the edge guys, how they attack the edge guys and the flat players, whether it's a defensive end, a linebacker, a safety, that's the edge guy. You have to have great discipline and be in your spot. I sent you that clip of Taylor Wine. He's backside edge guy. Run away, shuffles, square to the line of scrimmage, just like we talked about on in the weed stuff. It's like the play's right there. it's easy to turn and run and go try and make that tackle, but he's totally content with playing his gap, staying square, shuffling. If someone else makes the play, that's totally fine. This is my responsibility. Shuffle, shuffle. And he ends up making it like, shuffles 10 or 15 yards and then makes the play at the line of scrimmage. That's how you play disciplined team defense. I thought it was great. We had 2 turnovers. The one that iced the game at the end from Eli Bowen. Jacoby Johnson made an unbelievable interception. It was great watching it live. It's even better watching it and detailing it on film. We'll get to that. Those 2 turnovers were great. 4 sacks. Officially, there may be more than that, but the pressure on the quarterback was outstanding. Tons of hands in his face as he's throwing the ball. Tons of hits on the quarterback as he's getting rid of it. Pressure on the quarterback was great. Just another really physically dominating performance across the board. Third down. We talked about how critical third down was. They were 3 of 16. Officially, it's 3 of 15. I included a stop we had on, I think it was 3rd and 15. I'm not sure what the yardage was, where we got the targeting call. It was a pass breakup by Owen Heineke. We're off the field. 3 of 16. They converted a 3rd and 4 and a 3rd and 2 on the first drive of the game. After that the 3rd and 2 they converted on a 6-yard carry was the 8th play of the game. They didn't convert another 3rd down until the 77th play of the game.
My goodness.
Pretty good.
That's insane.
And the last one they converted was a garbage time. It was a 3rd and 3, little snag route. We're playing over the top of everything, but they converted that. They were 0 of 9. What did we talk about on 3rd down? 3rd and 6 or more. That's where they struggle. That's where we need to get them. 0 of 9 on 3rd and 6 or more. So I thought that was great. They ended up with 301 total yards on 78 plays, give or take 4 yards a play. I'm not sure. I count all the plays, whether there's a penalty and you replay the down, because it takes a physical toll. That play happened, right? So I include it. 4 yards a play. There's a bunch of empty yardage in there. And yet again, I'm going to have to hear people across the country say, well, Oklahoma, they got outgained, but they won the game. I promise you, anyone that critically watches Oklahoma defense on film, opposing coaches, people that are just kind of studying other opponents and see their film, there is nobody that says, well, they give up yards. No, it is an all-out assault from beginning to end. Every time I watch this team play, it's really enjoyable. Some problem areas. We gave up an 18-yard run in the first quarter, which 18-yard run, what's the longest run of the day. And that's a pretty big chunk of the 70 yards that they had rushing. So after that 18-yard run and after that first series where they were picking up chunks, it's pretty much complete total shutdown of the run game. And we talk about it. First drives are always difficult, especially with specialty teams that have a play or something that you don't see from everyone else that they're really good at, because it's hard to replicate those things on scout team and get the exact look. But we settled in great. There was a 15-yard pass in the second quarter that we gave up. It was a dig route. We're in good coverage. We just got to find the number 2. Kobe McKenzie's out there. He's in a great spot. Just find 2 and get a little more width there, and you probably get a pass breakup. There was a 15-yard pass on the 20-yard line where we're in a great call. Flat player just needs to get out a little bit quicker. It's the one where I think it was maybe Peyton Bowen, and they just floated it over the top of him in the flat. Good call. Just he took a chance on it, and they floated it over the top of him. They hit us on an 18-yard sail route. We talked about that in in the weeds. That's what they like in the passing game, the sail to the outside, good throw and catch. We challenged it. They had an 18-yard, I think it was an RPO on us, just number 2, right up the seam. And I think maybe we're aligned wrong on there. I wasn't sure what coverage we were in. They late in garbage time, they hit a 20-yard crosser on us, which we have great coverage over the top. Kendall Daniels tries to undercut it for the interception, took a risk, but it was right in between Kendall Daniels and maybe RSJ or one of the other safeties over the top. Great ball. We almost intercepted it, but that was a 20-yard crosser. And then they hit the very next play, they hit a 35-yard go on us right on the sideline. We're a little flat-footed, but, we challenged and got them pushed out of bounds on that. And then they hit a 23-yard seam on us right down the center. We're in a great coverage. We're just a little hesitant. It's right in front of the safety. And, the deep middle guy, we almost make a play on it, just a little bit hesitant there. That's the bulk of and most of those are kind of garbage time whenever we're playing looser type of coverage. But those were the pain point areas. We had 2 pass interference calls, and I thought both of them, my notes are bad call, bad ball, total bailout. The next one, bailout call, it's a bad ball. And we've seen this a couple of times, right? We saw it at Tennessee where we got great pressure. Quarterback throws up an absolute prayer. It's underthrown. Wideouts kind of coming back for the football, and it's like a punt where they get bailed out. So I didn't really have any problem with those. We had the targeting call on a 3rd, and I think it was 3rd and 15. I'm not sure, but we're off the field. Targeting call. Powers is gone for the rest of the half, and we miss him for the first half of the LSU game. It's a weak call. When you watch it in full speed, it's not a hit that would require a targeting. It's not a dangerous play, but it's unnecessary. So it could have been easily avoided by Powers. So I'm not a fan of the call. It's not making anyone safer. It wasn't malicious. He just launched high and went face to face with the guy. So that was disappointing, and hopefully it's not costly in the next game. That's it before I hit some guys that I thought played well. Anything you want to add?
I did think Prabula moved better than I thought he was going to move.
Totally agree. You couldn't even tell. If you didn't know, you would have no idea that he was working on a damaged ankle.
And I thought our defense, like Venables and the staff, they recognized that, adjusted a little bit to it. And then I have very few complaints about a defense that completely shut down the opposing offense,
Yeah. Yeah. It was good stuff. Guys I thought played well in no particular order. I just kind of take notes as I watch. Peyton Bowen had a couple of nice tackles, a pass breakup on a deep ball down the middle that I thought was really good. He was good in run support as well. Kip Lewis, another outstanding game. A bunch of tackles, a bunch of effort plays where things kind of spill out to the edge. Had a pass breakup on a play over the middle with a big hit, or actually I think maybe it was in the flat late in the game. Really nice. David Stone, dude, he continues to be an absolute animal on the inside. A bunch of tackles, effort tackle on a bubble route, a bunch of great rushes with hands in the quarterback's face. Just really, really good stuff from David Stone in the rec specs. Awesome.
Rec specs. WRECK specs.
That's right.
I can see the t-shirt now.
Oh yeah.
Taylor
Wine
told
sounded
Plank,
like he was serious about. Was Taylor Wine serious about doing the rec specs?
Maybe.
At first, I thought he was joking, but then it sounded serious.
Wine got poked in the eye and lost the contact and had to come out of the game because of it. Wouldn't happen if you're wearing rec specs. Just saying.
That's right.
I will say, I'm very happy for David Stone that he got to play a football game where he can actually see.
Yeah.
I
That was interesting, wasn't it?
he basically that's basically what he told us after the game was like, "Hey, this is the first time in a long time where I've played a football game where I could see everything really clearly." I was like, "Hey, man, make it your thing. Be the
It's
rec spec guys. No one's gonna say a word to you, man. You're one of the best defensive tackles in college football. Go wreck people in rec specs. I'm all for it. There is
uh,
an NIL deal to be made right now.
I mean, do we start calling him Wild Thing, Rick Vaughn, who, until he got the glasses on, totally different player. He's been great up to that point, though. Owen Heineke, a lot of production, a bunch of nice tackles, tackle for loss, hits on the quarterback, big effort play on a third down, had that pass breakup on the third down that I was talking about, did have a missed tackle. He continues to, I mean, I always say it, you got to play defense in a panic, right? He plays in a panic, but there's some times where he needs to throttle a little bit because he's getting cut back on. But an all around great game. Robert Spears Jennings was good, had a really nice tackle on a run that broke through the middle, limited the gain to just 5 or 6 yards, open field, physical tackle. Had a pass breakup. Eli Bowen, he had a missed tackle on one play that got out, but really good position on a deep ball where he kept the guy in front of him at one point, had the interception late. Another good game from him. Taylor Wine was great. Several pressures. He had a really good rip play on a third down where he came in and helped made the play. Had a sack. I think officially had a sack and a half. Had a really nice tackle on the edge, that one I talked about where he shuffled all the way down. Kobe McKenzie was good, physical, couple of really nice plays, directed traffic good. Dominic Williams was good, had a sack, couple of good splits of the double team up front, couple of tackles. Grayson Halton was excellent, couple of TFLs. The sack that I think he only gets partial credit for, we were talking about on the broadcast, where he's just great pad level, ton of strength, splits the double team, and gets in on a sack. Really nicely played. I thought Marvin Jones Jr., disciplined on the edge, was in the right spot all day. Had a couple of pressures. Had a pressure on the final interception that sealed it outside of the core. Reggie Powers was good. Had a big pass breakup on a hit over the middle. Big third down tackle. Uh, Boganowski played well, had a couple of big tackles, had a big hit on a scramble on Pribula, had a big tackle on a check down. Kendall Daniels, he was quiet early, but was really effective late, had a really nice play down on the goal line. He helped by positioning and closing the distance, help PJ get his sack. Had a real nice pass breakup on either that series or the next one. Had a big tackle for loss in the flat on a third down. That was awesome. Omasigo, I thought, played well. Jacoby Johnson talked about that interception. Just to detail a little bit, they are trying to specifically attack him on this play. They motion across and they create, you hear us talk about it, end over or nub side, where he, as a corner, has to come into the box and be in the run support. And they run, because he's up close to the line of scrimmage, he's also the deep third player. So what they try to do is they try and run crossers, give him a little play action to where he shuffles up front and then hit a deep crosser running across everyone's face to where he can't get back in time to make the play. He recognizes it, turns, hauls ass down the field, and the guy's coming on one side of him and he's getting depth, and he center field turns and boom, the ball is right on him right away. It's a hell of a play. Excellent job by him. And then last guy, PJ, I thought he was great. He was physical, had some good rushes, was really on point in a lot of their twist and stunt game, had the really nice sack where he kind of didn't just run past the quarterback, retraced his steps and came back and made a fall on sack. All in all, another excellent performance. This defense continues to get better. bunch of guys playing well, disciplined football, responsibility football. Excellent.
You done?
That's it.
That's it.
That's it. Unless you got
I
something to add.
I have one thing to add. I cannot recall a timeout being called feeling like the moment when a game flipped.
Yep. It was great strategy by Brent Venables. Excellent.
It was, I mean, because Drinkwitz is going for it, and I was really surprised that he changed his mind. I know they showed what they had been working on. I get that, but it was 4th and 3.
Yep. 4th and 3.
Had the opportunity if you go pick it up.
Maybe inside the 10, definitely inside like the 15.
Decide to kick it when Venables calls the timeout and they show us what they're, the final formation they're getting to. And we blocked the kick, and it feels like that swung the game massively.
Did we score on the next play, or a couple plays later was the long play to Satania?
Yeah.
So, yeah, we talked about it on the broadcast. 4th and 3, like as an offense, you have a small handful of critical, like these are our plays in these critical spots, specifically designed, typically kind of one-off plays, and they line up in a unique formation. Venables knows it. We're lined. We're ready to play the play, but he calls timeout right before the snap. As they snap it, show us what they're doing, and it's as good as a stop. And they show their hand and burn one of their critical plays. I thought that was great.
It felt like the tipping point in the football game, which I can't remember ever feeling that way about an OU game where I'm like, oh my gosh, Venables calling that timeout flipped it for us. I don't know. It's just
awesome.
Because let's be real, man, the game was not feeling great up to that point.
Right. Yep.
And forcing Drinkwitz to change his mind there, and then them not getting any points out of that, and then having let's be real, the one explosive play we had offensively all day right on the heels of that, and it felt like it snowballed from there.
Yep. And I think we got out healthy. Jaden Jackson, I couldn't see. I think he like fell on his elbow and maybe it jarred his shoulder or something. I'm not exactly sure what happened with him, but hopefully he's okay.
Yeah, he's been battling through a lot just to be out there. So maybe it's one of those things where you see if you can get by without him against LSU, and you try to get him as healthy as possible for a playoff game. I don't know. That's kind of where my head's at with it, with the depth that we have along the interior of the defensive line. Just try to let him get a little healed up,
Yeah. At a minimum, like he's already been on a lower snap count. So yeah, I'm with you.
Anything else?
That's it.
I think we're really good on defense, Ted.
We're really good on defense.
Now let's talk about the offense. But first, download the Loves app from Love's Travel Stops, your guide to savings on the road. Fill up for less with the discount on fuel, 10 cents off on every gallon of gas, and 25 cents off on every gallon of auto diesel. And don't forget, in the store, you can unlock mobile deals on the Loves app to save on snacks, drinks, and select meals at Love's restaurants. Plus, you can plan your pit stops for your next road trip with the map and route planner. All from Love's, the heart of the highway.
Steaks are back. Didi Ranch's luxury steak cuts are restocked and ready to ship straight to your door. From mouth-watering ribeyes to silky smooth fillets, this is the best beef Oklahoma has to offer. And here's the kicker. They're now shipping next day air for free when you use code SOONER at checkout. That's right. Next day air, like Amazon Prime, but for steak. Didi Ranch delivers taste and tradition the luxurious way. Order today at DiddyRanch.com and get your steaks just in time for the holidays.
And we are brought to you by Simple Modern, the Oklahoma-owned company and proud official drinkware partner of the OU Sooners. Guys, it's November in Norman, and that means 2 more home football games where you can grab Simple Modern's limited edition, brand new design drinkware that's only available in the stadium. These also make the perfect holiday gift for every Sooner fan in your life, especially for those who can't make it to a game. I'm telling you, it's the perfect way to cheer on the Sooners. And with 10% of all profits going to charity, many right here in Oklahoma, every sip supports Oklahomans on and off the field. Simple Modern, good everywhere. All right. Breaking down what we saw from OU's offense against Missouri's defense. We talked about it coming into this game. Missouri's got a really good defense. Very solid group up front. But I thought this was an opportunity for OU's offense to really show some improvement, right, against a really good defense. And that's not what happened. And I just want to start here, Ted, not to make you feel awkward, but you are one of the smartest football people I know. I love the lens you view the game through. So I'm going to start here. What are we good at on offense? Through your eyes. What can you point to this offense? All I want is one thing. Just give me one thing. What are we good at on offense?
I mean, I think there's things that we're good at times, but consistently week in, week out, it's hard to say there's anything that we really hang our hat on.
That makes me sad. Like, I envy you because I know on Sunday morning, you're about to turn on the tape and you're excited.
Mm-hmm.
That's not how I'm feeling right now, man.
Yeah,
I envy you. But, and this may be maybe the most frustrating part for me is, so you can't really point to anything and say, hey, we're good at that.
You must stop this when you play Oklahoma.
We're playing Oklahoma. You better be ready for blank. Like Missouri, you better be ready for outside zone.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have anything that you can point to go, you better stop blank with Oklahoma. The other concerning part, disappointing part, whatever word you want to use, is you also can't really point to anything and say they've gotten better at this.
Yeah.
During the season. And you hear Venables talk about it all the time. Like, it is about getting better each week. Incremental improvement each week. And becoming the best version of your football team at the right time, late in the season. Like, you're never a finished product, but you're always building. You're improving. That's what good teams do. That's what good offenses do. You are constantly, brick by brick, building yourself up to being a better unit. Ted, I'll pose the question to you. Can you point to anything and say OU's offense has gotten better at this?
Well, there was a time where I said we've gotten better running the ball, but it feels like that's regressed over the last couple of weeks. To say consistently throughout the season that we've gotten better, pass protection, maybe on the offensive line, standard pass pro.
No,
that's marginal at best if that's the case.
The pass protection has been pretty good all season long. Yeah. I will give you that. Now, we'll talk about some of the issues, and it ties into this offense as a whole just kind of being a disjointed mess. And you look at it, and once again, Missouri's a really good defense. But it's just hard to play efficient offense when you don't have core runs you can lean on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The best looking run we've had over the last 2 weeks has been mid-zone read. Just kind of a wider track from the offensive line and John Mateer reading a defender on the backside of the defense. It is what undoubtedly has looked best. We've run it 3 times. We ran it once against Bama, and we ran it twice against Missouri. And earlier in the year, I thought we were trending to be a mid-zone team. And we've run it 3 times in the last 2 football games. And actually, the inside zone play that I've complained about for years, I guess was technically our most effective play in this game, running the football. And it's just, I don't know. I wish I could come on here and say, hey, this looks really good. We need to do more of that. Like, that looked really good. We need to do more of that. Like, really, all we have right now is let's try our best to make Isaiah Satania make a huge play for the offense. That's kind of where we're at. And I don't think we're isolating him enough. I don't think we're getting him the ball as much as we should. Like, I feel like we should be targeting him. He's clearly our best player. Now, the 87-yarder, that was awesome. They're in man coverage. Mateer identifies what's going on. Satania has one-on-one. He wins. Mateer puts it right on him on the run. Satania looks like the fastest man alive. No one's catching him. Touchdown. It's great. But that play is really, I don't want to say it's the only bright spot, but it's just that's the outlier, if you will.
Yeah.
And I don't know, man. I don't know how you're seeing it. You watch every play this team plays as well on offense, and it's just, it does not feel like they are in a rhythm at all. And one thing I will say, and Mateer's going to get a lot of criticism, and that's what comes with the quarterback position. But that dude, on nearly every play of the entire football game, has to make a critical decision. He's reading an edge defender. He's reading a backer. He's deciding hand it off or throw it. He nearly 100% of the time is making a difficult decision. He never gets a chance to just breathe. It is as if he is taking a test for 4 straight hours.
Yeah.
And I don't think it has to be that way.
It definitely doesn't. Like, the run game is way too complicated.
That's my thing. I just wanted to make sure you saw it the way that I saw it. There are so many moving parts going on, man. It's like when you watch it, you're going, okay, how do I label this? This is speed sweep QB GY counter read. And you're just like, what? What? I mean, there's just a lot going on, man. There's a lot going on. I thought, especially with the young guys we're playing along the offensive line, in my head, it was like, you're playing young guys up front. You want to narrow the focus of what you're doing in the run game. Get to some core concepts that you feel really, really good about, that this young group can get really good at and feel super confident in. And it feels like, if anything, we've just gotten more complex with the run game.
Yeah. I totally agree. In my mind, it's the easiest thing in the world to do. We know that we keep talking about, we know the formula with our football team. We're going to win games with defense and special teams, right? We know that. I mean, it's apparent at this point. Well, we need to just strip everything back and start flying off the football in the run game and launch the damn RPO into the freaking sun. We suck at it. It is not an advantage for us. Every now and then, in a critical moment of the game, if you want to call a run play that's live on an RPO, okay. But it should not be tagged on everything we do. Get rid of all the noise and just come off the ball and try to maul over the top of people. What's the worst that can happen? You don't run it well? Well, at a minimum, you're physical and you can at least start to take a toll on the defense at some point. It's too I'm with you. I think you said it exactly right with Mateer. There's way too much thinking and not the guy's a player. He's not a robot. Don't turn him into a robot. Let the guy go be a player.
And because he has to make so many critical decisions, he makes a lot of mistakes. If you go watch, like, hey, should he hand it? Should he keep it? Should he throw it? His percentage of making the correct decision right now is not good. And I'm sure if you're Ben Arbuckle on the staff, you go, hey, dude, just if you do the right thing, if you make the right read. But the problem is, how many weeks in a row has he struggled with these decisions?
The processor's freezing up because he knows he's messing up. He knows he's made a couple of wrong reads. Then you really start to focus on the read, and it slows you down as a player.
The offense is just very, very dependent on him being a great decision maker. And he's just an inconsistent decision maker, which leads to a lot of inconsistencies offensively. And he did some good things. I don't want to make it sound like he was just awful, but once again, championship level special teams, championship level defense, and an offense that I think we all can agree, like, if is going to get us beat.
We're dragging an anchor right now.
That's how it feels. I mean, that's just the truth. So I don't know what the solution is, but if it were up to me, and it sounds like if it were up to us, just simplify some things, man. Missouri said, hey, we're not letting you run speed sweep. We're going to send the defensive end up the field and murder the guy on the speed sweep action. And to Arbuckle's credit, he recognized that very quickly. That motion guy, they'd snap it after he got outside the guy, and they'd run a quick screen. The problem is we're terrible at blocking screens. And a couple of those, there's 6 in the box. John Mateer should hand it off. He shouldn't throw it out there. He should just hand it off. But there's a combination where it's just a bad combination where things have gotten very, very complex in the run game. And the quarterback's not making great decisions with all these decisions he's having to make. And then we are not dynamic at all at running back. I think everyone that watched that game saw how Ahmad Hardy looked and how hard he was to tackle, even when our defense was like living in the backfield. He's somehow, you're like, wait a second, how did he just get 3 yards there? Mm-hmm. I do not want to be critical of Xavier Robinson. That guy is battling.
Playing hurt.
He's playing hurt. Frankly, he's playing injured. And his other leg got banged up in this game. And he kept going. And I respect that so much. But what is going on with the rest of the room? To where a guy that has 2 banged up legs is the only guy they trust to put on the field. That's crazy, bro.
I know.
Now, credit to X for being
fresh. The other guy's a true freshman who's been playing injured all season as well. I mean, it's severely limited.
Barnes is on the sideline and sweats in a jersey. Ott's there. He's got his pads on. Taylor Tatum pads on. And Xavier Robinson plays basically every snap of the game. Injured. Is that the best way to go score points on offense? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if this sounds critical of Xavier Robinson, that's not the intention here. It's what is going on with the rest of the room.
Right.
That's crazy to me, bro.
I agree.
I mean, everyone in that locker room needs to go to that room and say, boys, you better figure it out. I mean, there needs to be I was never a big believer in players only meetings or anything like that, but that running back room needs to figure it out. Now, credit to Xavier Robinson going out there and battling for his team. All the respect in the world for that young man. But should he have to do that?
I mean,
this is OU, man. This is Oklahoma. We don't have another guy we can just put out there on the field and hand the ball to. We got to hand it to the guy who's got 2 injured legs.
at a minimum, you should have. There's always going to be a pecking order when it comes to athletic ability. Right? There's going to be players that are better than others, but you have to have some depth of guys that can, when you're injured everywhere else, can go out there, carry the ball, hang on to it, pick up the right guys in protection, and just get you through a football game.
Xavier Robinson, 12 for 42, 4 for 16 in the passing game. All the respect in the world for that guy. All the respect in the world for it. But we tried to throw him a running back screen. Great screen teams are super detailed teams. They practice it relentlessly. The guys are exactly where they need to be. Their landmarks, the way that they release from the screens, their demeanor at tackle when they're blocking screen.
Timing, all of it.
Timing,
critical.
Everything. It is being a good screen team is about being a detailed team, a detailed offense. And we are not that. And that's why it feels like every time we run a screen, pretty much of any nature now, it just is, it feels like a wasted play.
And it feels like it's going to be an interception or something horrible is going to happen.
I feel like this is coming off very negative.
Right.
And it should. Just because the defense is playing out of its mind and we got the best kicker in the country doesn't mean we should just accept that the offense is playing the way that it is. Or at least that's how I view it, Ted. And I'm with you, man. We got our formula. This is a team that's going to win ugly. Or it's going to win a style of game that, frankly, we're not very used to around here.
But that's my point.
But that doesn't mean we should be bad on offense, you know?
No. And knowing the formula should mean, like, I think right now we have a chalkboard offense, which means if there's this many guys here, go there. Look, it works on the chalkboard. If they have this many guys out here, we go there. It works on the chalkboard. If they come in here and do this, we'll just throw it outside. The numbers all work on the chalkboard. Because of our formula, we should eliminate being a chalkboard offense and just mash people. Get rid of all the thinking and deciding and, and just come off the ball. Don't think about it. Hand it off. I eliminate all of the moving parts that you don't need, and it feeds and helps our formula, in my opinion.
And if you do that, then you may actually be able to run this thing called play action pass, which I think would be very helpful. But it's clear. Now, Satania did score an 87-yard touchdown and looked so fast doing it. But other than that, we did try to push it down the field a little more.
Yeah.
Mateer's got to put some more air under a couple of those. Deion Burks, you are not a back shoulder guy. Put your head down and run down the field as fast as you can. And try to run by someone. Stop looking back. Stop looking back. Run.
Again, that's another decision to be made on the field, right? You're giving him the option. Is he in phase? Do I need to come back? No. There is no option. Just go beat him, right?
Go be fast. Run. Mateer, he got away with a mistake in this game. That's 2 weeks in a row. I mean, we're running boot. He throws it right to a guy. They drop it. He can't do that. A punt is not the worst thing in the world with how we're playing offensively. You can't throw it to the other team. Eventually, they're going to catch it. Looking at the wide receiver spot, Satania 3 for 109. We talked about the play. Wins on the route. Great ball from Mateer on the run. I continue to think just isolate him and let him go run routes against guys and win. I would love to see that be a bigger piece of what we're doing offensively because he's clearly the best player we've got. Deion Burks, 2 for -2. Goodness. I mean, now he had we were more aggressive running routes down the field, just not able to connect on them. And once again, run. Stop looking back. Stop looking back. Run. You are a speed guy. You are not a body position back shoulder guy. Run. Giovanni Gibson, touchdown. Good read from Mateer on the RPO. Giovanni goes and wins inside. Good throw, good catch, touchdown Sooners. Was starting to feel like we had some momentum there, Ted.
It did.
Incorrect. Momentum did not continue from that point on. But it would, if he can be a big threat, a bigger threat in that area of the field for us, that would be a significant development for this offense. Who else? Keontez Lewis, 1 for 12, caught a tempo hitch. It's good to see him back out there getting some snaps. We talked about the running back situation. Torrey Blaylock must be really, really banged up because that kid is tough as nails. He proved that earlier in the season, and he's just, for him not to get any touches, he just must be, I mean, must be really hurting. Tight end. Kanik had 2 for 24. Some nice yak on the quick out where he just caught it, went make something happen. One of our longest plays of the day. Blocking continues to be a struggle. He needs to be better in the split zone stuff. He's just going in there and throwing his body around. Dude, go in there, play with some technique. Stick your face in there a little more. Stop turning so much. Go crave some contact. You used to be a linebacker, dude. Let's go. There's too many times where he's going in there and turning and kind of just trying to get inside the guy, and the defensive end's like, all right. And then the defensive end goes and makes the play late. Go attack that man's inside shoulder. Go square him up. That's the job. Caden Helms, 1 catch for 6 yards. It's good to see him get a catch. If he's going to be our in the core guy, our inline guy, he's got to get better in the run game. He needs to be better in the run game. He's got to be better with his hands, his feet on contact. He's freezing his feet on contact. That is not how you move people. That's how people move you. Offensive line. Wasn't great. And anyone that listened to the preview pods probably could tell I was a little concerned about the matchup. Mizzou, I think they're really good in the core. I think they're rock solid, and they won the battle. I would say OU's offensive line, they lost a lot more battles than they won in this game, just from an overall physicality standpoint. And we could go into a deep conversation about, hey, is it scheme? Is it the technique? The bottom line is Missouri was the more physical group. Looking at the guys individually, Michael Fasusi, I need him to play better. I need the guy that played against Michigan to show back up. I need that guy that was playing with low pads and good hands in the run game and really good feet and hands and pass protection. I need that guy back. And this is one thing, a big issue with the offense through my eyes right now, Ted. In this game, our tackles were nearly like vertical setting tackles. So if you just think and what I mean by vertical set is just think of a tackle going straight backwards or like slightly on an angle with his pass set. That's how we were setting with Simmons and Fasusi. It does not fit with how our quarterback plays. Vertical setting teams, whether it's college or the NFL, you vertical set at tackle. You have great depth of pocket at guard and center. The interior has to be very firm so that your quarterback can step up into the pocket and play from the pocket. To me, it looked like we're vertical setting for a quarterback that does not want to play in the pocket. There's a disconnect there. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
If that's how we're going to set it tackle, like I got no problem with it. Now, I don't think we're talented enough right now to set it tackle that way. I think we should set more on the angle, get in the fight a little quicker. But if that's what we're going to do, John Mateer's got to be a pocket guy. Because that's what vertical setting does. And then Jake Michaela, EPL, and Fabechi, like they got to be firm in the interior. So that's what I mean when it's like everything feels disjointed. We're vertical setting for a guy that doesn't like to play from the pocket, doesn't like to step up. So does that make sense?
Yeah.
Or do I sound stupid?
No, that definitely makes sense. I agree.
So that's confusing for me. And Fasusi, he is talented enough to be a vertical set guy. But if you are a vertical setter, you got to be great with your hands. You got to play with great power. You got to be proactive, man. You got to throw punches because you're giving up ground as a vertical setter, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can't get walked back into the quarterback. You got to shut that down, man. And he is vertical setting and absorbing. I cannot show you one clip of Michael Fasusi flashing his outside hand and throwing his inside hand in this game. Not once. Knowing that Missouri's defensive ends are swipe your outside hand guys. He's just sitting there waiting for the rusher to get him and just get there, and he just absorbs. It's a really hard way to play offensive tackle.
Mm-hmm.
Now, to his credit, he wins a lot of reps because he's so dang talented that way. But it's just he's got to get more aggressive. He's got to get more violent in pass protection.
Well, and when you absorb, that's more of a quick set thing, right? Quick set, get on him, and then absorb him, and that.
He is vertical setting, and the guy is, whether the guy's making an inside move, running down the middle of him, trying to rip on the outside, he's just like he's not firing his hands at all. He's catching and then just trying to hold on, like shut it down, which is a really hard way to play offensive tackle in this league.
Mm-hmm.
So he's got to be better in the run game. Aiming points, pad level, details. And I'm guessing he's still banged up with that ankle, but man, it's been a while. Let's go. He needs to play better. Eddie Pierre-Louis, effort, energy, continue to be great. But early in the year, I talked about his technical flaws. This game is a perfect example of what happens when you don't play with good technique. He still flew around all over the field. some really good snaps, but getting pulled, getting edged, bad feet, bad hands, bad eyes. If he wants to take his game to the next level, he has to get better technically. And you got to be smart, man. You got to know when it's time to be super physical and when it's time to not. He got a holding call on a screen. He dumped a dude on a screen. It's screen, dude. Let him rush. It's screen. We got to be smart football players, Ted.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. Like, the physicality is great, but you have to be smart. You have to play with a high football IQ. Jake Michael, just not getting much from him in the run game, man. Like, he's got to cut it loose. He's not going to move anyone being super measured coming off the ball like he's doing. It's just not. You have to take some more risks coming off the football if you're Michael. He's tall. He's light. You got to get your pads down. You got to come off the ball, dude, especially in the zone stuff. You got to come off the ball. It's all way too, hey, cover him up, and I'm stalemated right at the point of attack. You're not going to have an effective run game when your center's just stalemating all the time. Continues to be really good in pass protection. Guy is one of the better pass protecting centers in college football. Now, he gave up a little too much ground, a couple snaps this game. That's going to happen when you play good players, but the run game that's the piece that needs to get better for him. Fabechi Wee-Woo, another solid outing. I wouldn't say it was a performance that's going to wow when he won, but it's like he's going the right place. He plays with solid technique, being pretty physical. Like, I know what I'm going to get from 54, and I thought he was overall the best of the group, just solid.
Mm-hmm.
Derek Simmons played the vast majority of the snaps at right tackle. Doesn't really look like the same guy we saw earlier in the season when he was playing his best ball. Now, that being said, he's playing against some really good edges from Missouri, but he's just not quite as physical in the run game. Got pulled quite a bit in the run game because he's not rolling his hips. He's not being violent enough. He was proactive with his hands. He flashed that outside hand a lot. Hey, here's the bait. Take it. Swipe. Take it. The problem is he's flashing, and for whatever reason, like, he's not throwing his inside hand. If you're flashing, you got to throw that inside hand, or you got to flash and you got to flip and grab. There's not flash and then, all right, let him run straight into me and absorb the block. That's not the formula, man. It's flash, and then there's a counter after the flash. Flash, flip, flash, inside stab, flash, grab. Not flash, all right, hands down, here we go. But the flash is good, but there's got to be something after the flash.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought he did a nice job, like, understanding how the guys are going to rush him. But once you get him to throw that swipe, you got to have a plan, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Guys got underneath him a little bit on rip moves. He's got to learn to get that left hand. So, right, the guy's kind of underneath his right armpit, Ted. His left hand is going on the back of the guy. His left hand needs to go down on his hip, and you need to press as hard as you can with your left hand on that hip to widen him. That's where a guy's center of gravity is. You have to press that hip to buy another foot, 2 feet, to where that's the difference between Mateer feeling like he's under pressure or not. He's got to work that placement with that left hand when that guy gets a bit on his edge and a little underneath him with rip moves. Left hand on the hip, and you got to press as hard as you can. And that just widen him just a fraction more. That fraction can be all the difference in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Details, right?
Yep.
Details. I want the offense to find some things that they can just turn to and go, we do this really well. We're confident in this. And Ted, unless you're seeing it like differently than I am, I don't know if we have that right now. It doesn't feel like we have that at all.
No, I'm with you. I agree.
Keep taking care of the ball. That's a positive.
Yeah.
Now, Mateer put one in harm's way. I guess the argument could be made he put two, but I thought we did a nice job when we did connect on some things, backs, tight ends, running backs, like did a nice job protecting the football. But is that really where we're at offensively at Oklahoma right now? It's like I need to come on here and be like, hey guys, great job not turning it over.
Yeah.
It's not where when you are trying to peak as a team, it feels like special teams and the defense are peaking, right?
Yeah.
And then there's the offense.
Yeah. It's frustrating. I know, and I understand the both sides of it. It's like, hey man, we're in a great position. Uh why you so hard on the offense? Well, because it's a matter of time. It's a matter of time before, you know, someone makes a couple of great plays on our defense and scores a couple of explosive touchdowns, or we give something up in special teams and it feels like we will have no ability to chase them down at all and counter. Just kind of we're a rudderless ship on offense right now. And I think you put it perfectly with Mateer. He is he's a player, and you've corralled whatever his best ability is to just go play and play free and make stuff happen by just totally locking down the hard drive with a million decisions to make throughout the course of a football game, instead of just going and being able to cut it loose and play, and have some times where you just turn and hand it, right? Where you just drop back and throw it to the open guy, read out a defense. And yeah, I don't know. It's a lot.
Let's get to call your shot. And I thought this one from at Eli 1944 IS summed things up pretty well. He says, this defense is the best we've ever had. Although the offense has struggled, I think the game of just don't F it up is smart considering what we have. That being said, I still think Mateer needs to find a way to play better if we want a shot at a national championship.
No doubt. No doubt. Yeah, without a doubt.
I am fully aware that we're 9-2 and we're about to beat LSU and we're about to go to the college football playoff. I would like to win the whole thing when we get there.
You never know. I mean, it's hard to get there. We've seen it. Whenever you have a chance to do something, you got to go do it.
Everyone, and I know a lot of people are starting to look towards next year and go, we're going to be really good. And we are.
But if we don't figure out a plan on offense, and I'm not going to get ahead of myself.
No, but that's where I'm at. It's like, no. Don't start thinking about how good we're going to be a year from now. We are a really good football team right now. We've got a national championship defense. We've got national championship special teams. And all I'm asking is for the offense to find some core concepts and get good at them. I know it's late in the season, man, but it's all about improving every practice, every day, every week. And this group, I just want to see them get better. Like, I want to turn on the LSU tape and go, oh, wow, that looked great. Let's do more of that. That's all I want, man.
Mm-hmm. I'm with you.
We're 9-2.
Yeah.
And I get done watching the tape of the offense and I'm exhausted.
Every
Just
play,
sitting there
right?
going, "Ugh."
Yeah.
It is taxing.
It looks taxing, like not just like grading it, but just sitting back and watching it is taxing. There's
Nothing looks easy.
nothing is easy.
The
There's no gaping
Satania play
holes.
looked easy.
Yeah.
That's it. Everything else, it felt like we are just scratching and clawing for every yard. Meanwhile, and we say this a lot on here, you turn on Arkansas, Texas, and there are dudes just running down the field, bombs away.
Yeah.
I mean, you turn on Oregon, USC, there's guys running down the field, bombs away, big chunk runs, both sides. You're just like, it looks so easy. It looks so easy. I just, all right. Week 13 recaps.
All right, let's do it.
But first,
Schwab Meat has been smoking the highest quality meats, hot dogs, and sausages in OKC since 1912. Go to schwabmeat.com to order any of Schwab's outstanding products and use promo code OKBreakdown for free shipping on orders over $75. Schwab dogs are iconic. I like to keep it simple. Just a bun, dog, mustard, ketchup. Also, the jalapeno cheddar smoked sausage is ridiculous. Schwabmeat.com, code OKBreakdown for free shipping on orders over $75. Schwab Meat, the official hot dog of game days.
and head to the garage for hand smashed patties, butter toasted buns, and ice cold beer. My go to is the double bison cheeseburger. It's so good. The garage is the perfect spot to watch any big game, and you can enjoy Rad Hour every day. Enjoy discounted domestic beers, house wines, draft cocktails, and frozen cocktails Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 6 p.m., and Saturday and Sunday from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Visit eatatthegarage.com to find a location near you or order online from the garage in your neighborhood.
Insurica has launched a new digital agency introducing Insurica Direct. Whether you're in Oklahoma or anywhere across the U.S., they've got you covered. From small business insurance and health insurance for your employees to insurance for individuals like home, auto, and even Medicare supplements. Insurica Direct's got it all. Start your journey today at insuricadirect.com. Remember, at Insurica, we specialize in you.
All right, time to recap the best games of week 13 of college football. Let's start in Eugene. The Oregon Ducks handled business against the USC Trojans 42-27, and in a shocking result, the USC Trojans lose a big road game under Lincoln Riley. Shocking.
He's now like what, 0-11 or something like that against ranked teams or on the road, whatever it was, whatever that stat was. Whatever it was, it did not improve.
What did you think of? Like, did it feel like Oregon? It felt like Oregon was definitely the better team, but it kind of also felt like this was closer than the final score to me.
Yeah, it was. Early on, they were kind of back and forth, and it was a tight game. It just felt like Oregon slowly separated. And when did they score that last touchdown? It was because it did feel tight, and it felt like USC was going to have a chance to come back and make it a game. It was 27-35, and Oregon scored about midway through. No, they scored with 5:30 left in the fourth quarter to go up 42-27. So, yeah, I mean, it was a one-score game in the fourth.
Yeah, it did not feel like these two teams were like in a different weight class, if that makes sense. But ultimately, USC's inability to run the football kind of felt like the difference in the game for me. They had 52 yards rushing.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, I thought the biggest advantage Oregon had in this game was just they were very balanced offensively. 179 on the ground, 257 through the air. It just put them in better situations. Like it felt like Maeva had to make so many things happen with his arm that led to some mistakes. Meanwhile, Moore, and I'm sure Dante Moore wants that interception back. But other than that, I thought he played. I thought he played a really efficient game.
Yeah. I thought Oregon did a good job on Makai Lemon. I know he had the 2 touchdowns, but just didn't get a whole lot of big explosive plays like we're used to seeing him whenever like he catches something underneath, makes a couple of guys miss and gets down the sideline. Um, yeah, I just felt like Oregon was just a slightly better team and just leaned on them kind of the whole time and were able to separate late. Whenever they got that 4th down stop, 2.5, 3 minutes left in the game, and not a very good decision and throw by Maava, and that was pretty much it.
Yeah, and I thought that Kenyon Sadiq, when that guy is right, man, he's a difference maker at the tight end spot. No one wears smaller pads than that man. And if you looked like that guy, it's understandable.
You got to accentuate the arms however you can.
I totally get it. But there were some things in this game where I mean, Oregon goes on that drive. What was it? 11 plays, 79 yards. Like they took like 6 minutes off the clock to kind of put the thing away. That's that's the sign of a really good team, right? When you have to put that drive together to put it away, that's exactly what they did. And there's just kind of some weird stuff for USC in this game. Like they get a leaping penalty that takes a missed field goal off the board, and Oregon instead goes and scores a touchdown. Like stuff like that can't happen when you're trying to win a big road game,
Yeah, you got to be clean, you got to be detailed. And you're right, like that exchange I thought was really good. Oregon scored that touchdown to go up 21-35. They exchange punts, and then USC hits like a quick strike, 4-play touchdown. So they're back within 1 score. And then, dude, that's what good football teams do, especially at home. 11 plays, you almost make the 4th quarter disappear, go score a touchdown to get it back to 2 scores. Great answer.
Oregon did do a direct snap to an inside linebacker on the goal line, and he went and scored a touchdown. I know that made you happy.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. The old listen, we'll just snap it to a random guy that's not any better than anyone on offense, but it sounds cool and looks cool.
Just a really good win for Oregon, and Lincoln Riley says it a lot, but USC close once again, right? But not able to get the big win that they need. They seem that it's like a solid football team, but just a solid football team that is not able to get over the hump.
It's funny. I saw that Matt Leinart, he put out a tweet or something on, I think it was Friday, and said, I think he may have had maybe a sit down talk or interview or something with Lincoln. He said, after talking with Lincoln Riley, I feel like we're close, and everyone in Oklahoma just piled on, right? I mean, it's like that's the good at getting close, good at getting close, but I don't know. It's interesting what I know they've got really good recruiting class that they've put together, and it has been better the last couple of years recruiting. And here's the thing, and you could really look at Lincoln Riley's entire career. When he has the best quarterback in the country, they're really good. If he doesn't have the best quarterback in the country, kind of, just in the pack. No real separation. If you got the best player leading your offense, you got a chance to go win a bunch of big games. Otherwise, doesn't feel like there's a real good foundational like bedrock of a football team. It's whether or not you got the best guy. You got the best guy, he could put the best guy in position to go win football games. Other than that, win some, lose some.
Not a team that wins in the margins.
Right.
Like special teams in this game, like Oregon returns a punt for a touchdown. USC gets a a leaping penalty that takes a missed field goal off the board, and then Oregon goes and scores a touchdown. Like that's the type of stuff that gets you beat.
And you don't care about that stuff when you got the best quarterback, right?
That's
You
fair.
don't. Like, that's why I say I felt like an idiot for years talking about, like, we got to be more detailed. We got to do this. And then, we go out and throw for 500 yards and win by 3 touchdowns. And I look stupid, but, when you don't have that guy everywhere else, you have to find a way to get the slimmest of advantage in all these other areas.
Right. But big win for Oregon. They remain right in the mix for the college
That
football
was
playoff.
that I feel like was our best chance to maybe move up,
Right.
right? Is if Oregon was going to take a loss.
Yep. But I we'll see.
Washington's a good football team. I watched quite a bit of that game late.
Yeah. We'll see if Washington's able to help us out, but feels unlikely. Feels like Oregon's, going to be the better team, going to be probably a pretty big favorite in that one, but we'll see. Moving on to the next game. It was a win and you're in the ACC title game scenario for Georgia Tech. And, well, they did not win and they are not in, Ted.
No.
Pitt, turns out Narduzzi he told us the truth. He told us right to all of our faces. Hey, we're focusing on these last 2 games, and it looked that way. Panthers go to Atlanta, get it done, 42-28. Turns out
Jumped all over them early.
Oh my gosh. It was 28-0 with like 12 minutes to go in the second quarter.
Yep.
All over them. Man, so I mean, credit to Pat Narduzzi and his football team. They showed up to Atlanta on senior night and they punched Georgia Tech right in the face.
Yeah.
Now, it got interesting. That second half, and we'll talk about maybe the play that changed. Yeah, the play that kind of killed the comeback there for Haynes King and Georgia Tech. But I suppose Narduzzi doesn't look so strange for saying what he said a couple weeks ago. You go and win road games like this. Hey, man, maybe he knows his team a little better than us.
Listen to the way their defense started. In Georgia Tech, man, they can run the ball. I mean, they're multifaceted offense. 3 and out, 3 and out. 5 plays, turned it over on downs, 3 plays interception, 3 and out. That's their first 5 possessions. Meanwhile, they're down 21-0 or 28-0. That's how the first 5 possessions per team went. That's tough.
And also, like Georgia Tech, they've got momentum, right? They look like they're going in to score to make it 28-21. Haynes King, bad decision. And it ends up being a 100-yard pick six to Lovelace going the other way. So instead of it being 28-21 and that place going crazy, it's 35-14. And it felt like, okay, we're done here. So now help me understand something, Ted.
Okay.
And I think it's been established. Narduzzi's a different cat, right? But it's 4th and 9 on the -40. You've got a 2-touchdown lead. There's 7 minutes to go in the game. He fakes a punt on 4th and 9. Gives Georgia Tech life. I mean, they go, it's King to Canyon. It's 35-28. Things are real interesting. And I'm sitting there going, oh my gosh, is Georgia Tech about to pull this off? Now, luckily for Narduzzi, Turner rips off a 56-yard touchdown run, and that guy had himself a day on the ground for Pitt. But that was one of the more, what are they doing decisions that I've seen all season long.
Well, he must have watched Kirby Smart in that Texas game with the surprise onside whenever they were just separating from Texas. And it's like, we're going to make a statement with this football game. You already were making the statement, right? So you're right. But it's funny because I got that game and I watched some of it during the first half, but I really kind of dialed into it in the second half. And I was like, is the score wrong? Because the sideline of Pitt, Narduzzi never looked happy on the sideline at all whenever they were showing him. He looked pissed off, mad. I guess that's just his demeanor, but that's a big win from them, man. Huge.
Heinschel, he's fun to watch. A dude will sling it. 20 and 27, 226, two touchdowns. And this is just where we're at in this sport. You know, Pitt fans are a little worried about holding on to him.
Yeah.
Some people are going to come calling for Mason Heinschel because he's going to get some big time SEC, Big Ten offers. Like the tools are there. We'll see. I hope that the Pitt Panthers can hold on to him.
Yeah.
The ACC now we look at it 3 6-1 ACC teams. We've got Virginia, Pitt, and SMU. Pitt's got Miami, Virginia's got Virginia Tech, and SMU's at Cal. Ted, you all studied up. You read up on your ACC tiebreakers?
No, I'm
Me
not.
neither. It feels like Virginia SMU is the most likely championship game there in the ACC. Now, maybe Miami goes to Pitt and gets beat. Weirder things have happened.
It ain't going to be an easy football game, that's for sure.
All I know is the ACC, it's a one bid league. Like that's how it feels.
Yep.
So we'll see how it ends up shaking out there in the ACC. I don't know. Maybe Miami is able to backdoor their way into it. I don't know. It seems they're going to have to get a lot of help. It feels like, but at least it should be nice and weird. Last weekend in ACC play, we still don't know who's going to be in the championship game. That's fun.
That's what you want, right? That's what you want. You want a bunch of different schools and a bunch of different teams across the country to feel like they have a chance to make the playoff. It's really the best case scenario. A lot of buy-in.
We don't have to spend a lot of time on this one, but Tennessee went to Florida and it kind of just looked like a physical mismatch, which is not what I was anticipating.
Yeah.
I thought Florida at the very least would like put up a fight, you know? The final score's 31-11. But this was not close. This was a beatdown.
Yeah.
Tennessee kind of just took the air out of the ball in the second half and was like, "Hey, we got a big one next week. Let's just get out of here." That game was over so quickly.
Yeah. It feels like Florida finally said enough is enough. Like, because they've had like their last stand like 3 or 4 times this season. You know, they lost the 3 straight and then they beat Texas. Credit them for that. But the Georgia game was close. The Ole Miss game, they battled in that one. And it's just like, okay, it's over. Right. And there's a lot of distraction going on around there too.
No doubt about it. We'll see who they hire.
My thought going in is like, hey, better put some good film out there. This is like a tryout, trying to make the team for whoever the new coach is.
They're basically playing NFL preseason games at Florida.
Yes,
that's what's going on there. But it is Tennessee's first win at the Swamp since 2003.
That's crazy, man.
Wow. And remember, they were in the SEC East together. So there is many Tennessee teams have gone there and lost, but an efficient day from Joey Aguilar, and then the Vols just ran all over that Florida defense. 248, 3 touchdowns. Deshaun Bishop had himself a day, but yeah, not a ton of analysis needed. Like one team looked way, way better than the other. It was 31-0 at halftime.
See, and this is kind of what is the most frustrating thing about college football is Tennessee's now they're 8-3, they're 8-3, and they lost to Alabama on the road in a game that's closer than what the final score was. Remember that 100-yard pick six right before halftime? It was about to be, I think, if they scored a touchdown there, it would have been 16-14 at half. They lose to Alabama on the road, they lose to Oklahoma, and they lose to Georgia by 3. And all playoff teams, all really good, and Tennessee's trash. You know,
Yeah.
it's like that's how it's viewed for whatever reason. It's
I,
frustrating.
I can assure you, there's a lot of teams out there that would want no part of Tennessee in a first round game.
Totally agree.
Time to finish up with our winners and losers of the weekend. But first, wind, hail, tornadoes, and earthquakes are now year-round threats. And at the same time, homeowners insurance rates in Oklahoma are the highest in the entire country. Unfortunately, some insurance companies use deceptive and bad faith claim handling practices to deny or lower what little they pay out. Fortunately, one of the leading insurance bad faith attorneys in the country is a longtime Sooner and resides here in Oklahoma, Jeff Marr. The Marr Law Firm has represented more victims of tornado, storm, and earthquake damage than anyone in the Sooner State, recovering hundreds of millions of dollars for their clients. There's only one law firm to handle insurance companies, Marr Law Firm. And 3 things matter in banking: service, service, and service. And First Fidelity Bank's commitment to exceptional service is more than a promise, it's their foundation. FFB has been by your side for over a century, and they are honored to be a part of your journey. Banking isn't about where you've been, it's about where you are headed. Open an account at an award-winning bank today at ffb.com. At First Fidelity Bank, we go where you go.
Bishop McGuinness Catholic High School represents a tradition of educational excellence in Oklahoma City. Grounded in a faith-based education, Bishop McGuinness offers a college prep curriculum that includes 26 AP courses, participation in OSSAA athletics, and numerous clubs and organizations for students to join and grow. If you want to provide the best possible educational and spiritual development for your children, contact Bishop McGuinness Catholic High School or visit bmchs.org. Financial aid is available.
And go to opolisclothing.com and use promo code TED for 10% off our podcast merchandise and the best OU gear out there. That's opolisclothing.com and use promo code TED. Buttery soft and 10% off. As always, Ted, kicks off. Who do you have as your winner of the weekend?
Notre Dame, because they 70-7 against Syracuse, and I got to say, like, credit Notre Dame for going out and getting the job done emphatically. But that was the most pathetic football game I've seen a Division I program play in a really long time. It was just bad.
The start was insane. It also looked like it's the first time Syracuse has ever defended the stretch play in their lives. That was it was funny that Syracuse they went and punched it in with a couple seconds to go on the clock for the final score to be 70-7.
It was 21-0 before Notre Dame ran a play. And then they ran 2 plays and it was 28-0. And then they ran 5 plays and it was 35-0. Just absolutely insane. They ran 35 plays of offense on the entire day, and it was, or they scored 70 points. I think they nailed it a couple of times or whatever, but 35 plays of offense, 70 points. Pathetic.
The start, pick 6, blocked punt for a touchdown, and then another pick 6, and it was 21-0 Notre Dame.
I mean, I can't say too much. We did the same thing a year ago against South Carolina, basically.
Fair. But yeah, not an inspired performance from Fran Brown's group.
It was atrocious.
And it was one of those things. Everyone was talking about Notre Dame's need for style points this week. And well, yeah, I mean, Jeremiah Love looked great. Jadorian Price looked great. They scored multiple times on defense. They scored on special teams. They kind of checked all the boxes. 70-7. Like Syracuse is not a good team.
No.
But 70-7 against another Power Four team is, any way you slice it, yeah, that's pretty impressive. That Notre Dame, a lot of people think Notre Dame's really, really good. I'm one of those people. They passed the eye test. Well, this only added to the eye test for them.
What are the chances they jump us?
I'm concerned. Hear me out here. The resumes, like it's not even close. We can both agree on that, right?
Totally agree.
I mean, we have one of the best resumes in college football. Our schedule has been ridiculous. We play in the most difficult conference in college football. Like the resume-based argument, it's not even a conversation, right? We've got 5 ranked wins. But, Ted, let's put ourselves in the shoes of the committee. From what I understand, typically the football people have a very significant voice in the room.
Right.
If you and I were sitting in that room, and what if the other football people went, hey, boys, who's the better football team? Notre Dame or Oklahoma? That conversation's going to last a long time.
Well, I mean, here's the thing is Oklahoma is a flawed football team, right? When you compare them against the other top teams, we have, well, like I said earlier, we're dragging an anchor with our offense right now. I mean, Notre Dame ran the ball 24 times for 330 yards against another Division I team, a bad Division I team. But we haven't done that against anyone, much less the Division I team. They've got arguably the best, one of the best running backs in the country. I don't know. It would not surprise me.
Is it? I don't know. I'm going to be surprised either way. If we're ranked ahead of them, I'm going to be surprised. If we're ranked behind them, I'm going to be surprised. But I think if the football people in the room there in the committee, like if they sit down and the conversation is this simple, like, hey, who's the more complete team? Who's the better team? OU or Notre Dame? There are going to be a lot of football people in the room that say Notre Dame. Because if you turn the tape on of our offense over the last, let's be real, couple months, there's not a lot to impress you. Meanwhile, Notre Dame's defense, if you looked at that team, you'd probably say, are they that good defensively? It feels like they've gotten better. Now the competition is what it is, but it feels like that group has gotten better. And if you compare the two teams, there's no doubt in my mind you go, OU's defense, number 1 unit when you're talking OU and Notre Dame. But also, if you're talking OU Notre Dame, no doubt, if you're in that room having that conversation, OU's offense is the worst unit of OU and Notre Dame. I don't know, man. I'm not worried that Notre Dame's going to jump to 8 and we'll be 9.
I mean, I think that when you look at all of the other playoff teams that are in it right now, I think Oklahoma's offense is the worst unit of all of those teams. Ohio State, Indiana, A&M, Georgia, Tech, Ole Miss, Oregon, Notre Dame, almost all those teams are pretty balanced football teams, right? Where, yeah, they may be slightly better on one side of the ball, but there's no real glaring weaknesses. Oklahoma's offense is a glaring weakness. And it's going to, I mean, in a lot of these tight battles, it's going to affect them. Notre Dame has the 2 losses, but, you know, I think the reason they just beat Syracuse 70-0 is to prove that they're better than Miami, who played them last week and beat them 38-10. You know what I'm saying? It's like, don't hold our first game of the year against us, because we've gotten a hell of a lot better since then, but we'll see where it goes.
Yeah, that's the thing. They could say, if you were the committee, you can justify putting Notre Dame ahead of OU pretty easily. Like, hey, Notre Dame is just a more balanced team. No glaring weakness. Quarterback playing well, playing efficiently. Best running back in America. Strong defense, not elite, but strong. And that's the thing is, like, you look at all the metrics, Notre Dame is ranked ahead of OU in all the advanced analytics stuff too.
Yeah.
Like SP Plus and all that. Like Notre Dame, the nerd stats like Notre Dame better too.
They should. I mean,
but
they should, but I mean, we've played a much more difficult schedule.
No doubt.
Even that being said, we still lag significantly on that side of the ball against what those the teams that we play typically do defensively. I mean, we get we get choked out almost every week, you know. So
if you had to guess, where are we ranked on Tuesday night?
I think we'll be ranked ahead, because I think Notre Dame beating someone that bad almost turns it into a throwaway game and looks like a negative against them. If that makes sense.
It leads to the conversation about OU's schedule and Notre Dame's schedule and them not being in a conference. Like, it becomes
they just played
a big deal.
3-7 Syracuse team that hasn't won a game since like September. So I think that the way they beat them almost works against them to a degree. But
that's interesting. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
We just beat another ranked SEC team.
Right.
Like, the fact that we've spent this long on it just tells you how poorly we're playing offensively. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, we've got arguably the best defense in the country, elite special teams, and we're over here going, oh my gosh, I hope Notre Dame doesn't jump us after beating Syracuse. But that's
right.
what there are going to be, I can guarantee it, there are going to be people in that room that go, I just think Notre Dame's better. And hopefully, I'm hopeful. I think we're going to remain at 8, but I'm not going to breathe until I see that tile flip over on Tuesday night, you know?
And again, like the thing I said about Tennessee, it's the same thing with Missouri. Missouri's trash. Missouri lost a 3-point game to Alabama. They lost a 1-score game to Vanderbilt.
Where their quarterback got hurt. They lost to Texas A&M with the backup quarterback, and they lost to Oklahoma on the road. Right? Those are all really good teams, and played a couple of them without their starting quarterback, but they're trash, right? My sources. So how big of a deal? Clearly, hosting Notre Dame in Norman would be a very big deal. We would much rather watch our team play at home than have to go on the road against South Bend, even though our team may be better on the road for whatever reason.
Right.
That just may be the truth. But my sources also inform me that a live Oklahoma breakdown the night before a playoff game in Norman could be on the line on Tuesday night, depending on where we're ranked. It's what my sources tell me.
That would be awesome.
And My sources tell me that said event would be free. So,
Ooh, whoa.
yeah,
Okay.
yes. So there's hosting in Norman. Clearly, we want that, but it's not the only thing riding on the Tuesday rankings, baby. It's big for the pod, Ted.
Hey, that would be so awesome. I Let's hope that happens. I'm just laughing because uh last year, was Oregon the 1 seed last year?
Yes, and they ended
And
up in the horrible spot against Ohio State.
whoever the 1 seed is, this, like, if things were right now, you have to play Oklahoma or Notre Dame if you're the 1 seed in
Mm.
your first playoff game.
OU Ohio State. Oh my gosh. Going Notre Dame into Ohio State. Ugh, we are so back, baby.
Yeah,
Just get a
awesome.
little better on offense, please. Who do you have as your loser of the weekend? We spent a lot of time on that Notre Dame. That you can tell
Yeah,
we're a little nervous about it. Like,
yeah, yeah. I I thought about going with Dan Lanning. Great win, but and I understand that coaches are in this whole lobbying thing for their football team. But after you beat USC, to stand at the podium and fire shots at the SEC with what their schedule has been this year. And I listen, I'm not a fan of the let's play Charleston Southern in, the almost the final week of the season. I'm not a fan of that either. But it looks and sounds so absurd to me to say that. You know what? Did it strike you that way?
I he delivered it as casually as you could. I'll give him credit for the delivery. It was kind of he mentioned it and then kept it rolling, but yeah, if they had played some like murderer's row of a schedule,
Yeah.
but that is not what Oregon has had this season.
No, you played your first big game of the year in late November.
Well, they won their first big game of the year. They played
Yeah,
another big one against Indiana at home and they got beat by double digits.
right. Uh, you won your first big game of the year in late November, and you're going to act like the SEC's just a bunch of cupcake land and no one plays one another. So stupid. That pisses me off when people do that. But uh, I ended up going with Taylen Green, the quarterback for Arkansas. You know, they were going back and forth with Texas. It looked like for a while, like, hey, Texas may be in trouble here, but ultimately they're just too horrible on defense and so devoid of talent. But he's on an Arkansas team that is incredibly bad, has fired their head coach, and he might be the best player in the country, and nobody even knows about him.
When he got hurt in this game in the third quarter, it like went back and forth and it was like, okay. And he has this weird play where he's running it and then I don't know where he's trying to throw it and it goes up in the air and they intercept it and he somehow tweaks a hammy or something on it, I guess. And it was like, it was pretty much all Texas the rest of the way. Once he
Instantly
went
over.
out, it was over. He is, if you have not watched Arkansas's offense with Taylen Green on the field healthy, it is one of the most entertaining offenses in college football. It is a lot of fun to watch, man. And he has been really, really good for them this season.
He's so good. He's so good. He's thrown for 2,600 yards. He's rushed for a ton of yards, touchdowns, and he's doing it all. I mean, the guy's 6'6, 230 pounds, and really doing all of it absolutely alone against the best teams in the country over and over and over and over. And he still puts up huge stats. He's crazy good. And he's going to go play in the NFL, I guarantee you. But like he's going to have a long college career that's just no one really is ever going to talk about.
He's one of those guys that if you surveyed SEC defensive coordinators and you're like, what quarterback do you not want to play? I think a whole lot of guys' first answer would be, I don't want to play that dude from Arkansas. No thanks.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if you asked all the offensive coordinators in the SEC, hey, what
Who they
quarterback
want?
would you want? There'd be a lot of people that would say, give me the kid from Arkansas.
It's like, I don't care what team you are right now. You're 14 points better easily on offense a game if you have Taylen Green.
His ability to
It's,
get out of trouble, dude, with those long strides, you're just like, what?
he's so good.
Fun to
So good.
watch. Really fun.
Yep.
I hope he ends up getting an opportunity in the NFL. It'll be interesting to see where he gets drafted. But he's just really fun to watch play football. I hope he ends up like finding a spot that fits his skill set. And when a guy can move around like that and has
Dude,
those tools, usually you get a chance.
I do not think we've seen the end of Taylen Green.
No.
I think he's gonna pop up on the radar in a couple of years for Jacksonville or some random Tennessee, like who knows, but he'll be back around. It's gonna be like, where did he play again? Where did he play college? Boise State and Arkansas.
Arch went off in the game. Give the young man credit. It was bombs away for
Hey,
Texas. What, 389 and 4 touchdowns? And a
I've
bunch
I've
of them were long.
I've said it a couple weeks now. You want to take a guy that like the thoughts of him like through the first 3 or 4 weeks of the season, and you look at him now, he's playing his ass off. He looks good.
Yeah. Ran for a touchdown, caught a touchdown, 6
Mhm.
touchdowns for Arch.
Mm,
That has to be very frustrating for Texas fans.
yeah.
Right? And I know Arkansas's no good on defense. But I feel like a big complaint of Texas fans have been like, where are the explosive plays?
Mhm.
Turns out Sark was just saving them all for Arkansas. That's it. Because, dude, it was whether it was Livingston, Wingo, Moore, it was just like bomb after bomb after bomb, just airing it out on the Hogs.
How many Texas fans are watching that Florida game just crying right now?
Yeah, like we lost to this team. I
Yep. But that's how much better Arch has got. And it's not like it was all his fault. There's been plenty of issues there, but they're getting better on offense, that's for sure.
it sets up a game that I'm very excited to watch between Texas and Texas A&M. I'll tell you right now, buddy. Not going to be surprised at all if the Longhorns pull that off.
I'm picking them probably.
Really? Let's see if
Yeah.
there's a line out for that game already. There's got to be one out already for that. It is. This is great podcasting. Ooh, Texas A&M -2.5 in Austin.
Yep, Texas wins that game outright.
Okay. I may probably a stay away from me. Just let's just enjoy it.
Yeah.
But I I think that Texas defense can limit Marcel Reed significantly
Oh yeah.
because of what they have in the core of their defense.
Oh, it's Texas's defense will be the best defense that A&M has played this season by far. I mean, you can go back to Notre Dame early, but I think Notre Dame's a different football team now. I mean, I guess the Missouri game, but that Missouri game was like 7-0 at halftime,
Well, it
right?
was 7-0 right before the half, and then Zoller's
Yeah, fumbles
strip,
and
fumble, punch it in, 14-0.
so I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a very competitive game,
Agree.
which Texas A&M can kind of just lose it,
Yeah.
and nothing really happens, which is interesting.
Are they still? Are they guaranteed SEC championship game?
I'm worried about our offense, man. I'm not worried about what's happening with the SEC championship game.
I'm with you. I'm
I
with you.
but I think they're in.
Yeah.
maybe there's a scenario where Alabama
We could have
and
four
Georgia.
one-loss SEC teams if A&M loses.
I don't know. It would be interesting if Texas just destroys Texas A&M. And there's some chaos that takes place. Like, could they backdoor their way into the playoff? I think they're too far gone, but it would add some intrigue to the final rankings.
There will be, if they win that game, they'll be sitting there at 9-3, and there will be at least one, but probably multiple teams in the playoff that they are better than.
I think that's very fair to say.
Yep.
And that will be very frustrating for that team and their fans.
Too bad.
Gosh, they really got after us. I wish I could make fun of it. I'm just going to sit here and be quiet. Can't even. We're in, you're not.
Another game that's like what, 6-3 at halftime or something like that, or 9-6, something ridiculous.
Let's finish up with my winner and loser of the weekend. But first, guys, it's time to make the switch to the Ridge Wallet 2.0. You need to head to ridge.com/OKBreakdown right now to take advantage of Ridge's biggest sale of the year, where you can get up to 47% off. The days of the super fat wallet that hurts to sit on are over. Make the switch to this sleek modern design that can hold up to 12 cards and cash. Ridge has over 50 colors and styles to choose from, and they are giving you free shipping, a 99-day risk-free trial, and a lifetime warranty on all of their products. This is literally the last wallet you'll ever have to buy, and Ridge wallets have RFID blocking technology that keeps you safe from digital pickpocketers. This is a perfect Christmas gift for any dude in your life. And for a limited time only, Ridge is having their huge Black Friday sale. This is by far the biggest discount they've given all year. That's ridge.com/OKBreakdown for up to 47% off your order during their biggest sale of the year. After you purchase, they will ask you where you heard about them. Please support our show and tell them we sent you. This episode is brought to you by Prize Picks. Download the Prize Picks app today and use code OKBreakdown to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. We all make decisions every day, but on Prize Picks, being right can get you paid. And it's so simple to play. Just pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections. If you get your picks right, you could cash in. Prize Picks is also the best way to get action on sports in more than 40 states, and they put their users first. All withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure, and they also offer injury reboots. If one of your players leaves the game in the first half and doesn't return, Prize Picks won't count it as a loss. Prize Picks is the best way to win cash this football season. Make your picks in less than 60 seconds and turn your takes into cash all season long on Prize Picks. Join millions of users and sign up today. Download the Prize Picks app and use code OKBreakdown to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code OKBreakdown to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. It's good to be right. All right, for my winner of the weekend, give me the Vanderbilt Commodores. They handled Kentucky, who came into this game. I'm not trying to make it sound like Kentucky's some really good team, but they definitely had some momentum, had been playing their best football of the season. And Vandy said, okay, smacked them around. Final score 45-10. Just a really solid performance from Clark Lee's team, Ted. And Diego Pavia wants to be invited to the Heisman Trophy ceremony because that man was like, I'm going to light this stat sheet up.
33 of 39. Pretty efficient, I would say.
484 and 5 touchdowns. Trey Richardson connects on a couple big ones with him. That guy looked like the fastest man alive. But he also, Pavia had 48 yards rushing, added a touchdown on the ground. It felt like he was trying to rack some stats up and make a statement, and I have no problem with it.
Yeah.
I think he deserves to be a Heisman finalist. I think that he has, when you, not single-handedly, but when you play arguably the biggest role in completely changing a program like he has for Vandy, I feel like that's Heisman invite worthy.
I know. And this is something that probably won't get talked about, but the defenses that he's had to play, South Carolina, Alabama, LSU, Missouri, Texas, Auburn. All of those teams are great on defense.
Yeah,
Great.
some of them not having great seasons, but it ain't the defense's fault.
That's right. Exactly.
So I'm with you, but them taking care of business like they did against Kentucky sets up a fun one between Vandy and Tennessee in Knoxville next week. Vandy's got it. They got to go win the game, and that is going to be a big ask. That is going to be a wild environment. It'd be very, very tough to go win there for Pavia and that group. But if they're able to do it and they get a little help in front of them, man, maybe Vandy backdoors their way into a playoff. But how about this? This just speaks to what Pavia and this team and Clark Lee have done with Vandy football. Vanderbilt, they just won their 9th game in the regular season. It is the first time they have won 9 games in the regular season since 1915.
Woo!
They have never won 10 games in school history. So, like, history is on the line for Vandy against Tennessee and the college football playoff, all that stuff. So, I don't know. It's just a really fun matchup, man. I was glad that Vandy was able to take care of Kentucky and set up, and then Tennessee just mushed Florida. That's going to be a really fun game, man. I'm really excited.
Is there any part of Oklahoma, if they go beat Tennessee on the road, is there any part of Oklahoma that needs to be worried about Vandy jumping us?
No.
Only 2 losses at Alabama and at Texas.
I don't think so because
Michigan, like the Michigan non-con game helps us out a ton.
could you let me know how our offense plays against LSU? Do we show improvement? This is taking you way too long. I don't think Vanderbilt's going to jump us.
Okay.
I don't think they're going to go win at Tennessee either.
Yeah.
If they do, then yeah, you look at their resume, it's going to be really, really solid, man.
Only 2 losses on the road at Bama and on the road at Texas. And like the Texas 34-31, like the comeback, like they were getting stomped in Texas and then they kept roaring back late. That helps their resume out a ton.
But hey, good weekend for Vandy. Except for, did you see that mascot fall off that ATV?
No.
It's like on a 4-wheeler. I don't know. It was like on Marty and McGee. The Commodore, he goes flying off it and like pops right up and goes, safe.
Okay.
Could have been bad for our man.
Could have been bad.
Could have been bad. But that's about the only thing that went wrong for Vandy this weekend. One other thought. Diego Pavia's mom has to lead college football in parent camera time.
Yeah.
I'm sure someone's got those rankings out there, but she's got to be number 1 by a wide margin.
It's like every year they lock on to like one parent is like the person that you'll see a couple here and there, but like this year, she's the one that they lock on to every game.
A lot of Pavia's mom on the broadcast for sure. All right, my loser of the weekend, the Kansas State Wildcats. Ted, I honestly didn't know it was possible to run for 472 yards and 5 rushing touchdowns and lose a game. How? Joe Jackson had 293 and 3 touchdowns himself. He was amazing. And they lost. They had a 73-yard rushing touchdown called back because of a penalty. They assaulted Utah on the ground and lost. Final score, Utes 51, Wildcats 47. That's crazy, man.
It's so rare that I think that's why you can point to the coach crying in the post-game press conference. Right?
My man Kleiman was emotional, that's for sure. You hate seeing grown men cry, but you could tell. Hey, you rush for nearly 500 yards and 5 rushing touchdowns, and you lose. That will bring a man to tears. I totally get it, Chris. I totally get it.
100% disqualifying as a football team to make the playoff if you give up over 500 yards of rushing in a game. I know the one was called back, but in my mind, it counts. So
I,
I don't know if anyone else feels the same way as me, but you're off the available list.
Utah won the game to go to 9-2. And the committee likes Utah. They've told us that by where they've been ranked. They're the 12th ranked team in the country. You cannot put them in the playoff after this.
No.
Now, there's still a path where they play for a Big 12 championship, I guess. I don't there's a way it happens. That way involves Texas Tech losing to West Virginia, which I just do not think is going to happen. So,
No way.
but there's a way that they play in a Big 12 championship and win that game and they're in. But they were number 12 in the country and looking around going, hey, if some crazy stuff happens, we could backdoor our way into this thing. The committee likes us. The metrics like us. Metrics can't like you anymore when you give up 472 and 5 touchdowns on the ground to a mediocre K-State team. I'm sorry, you're out. It was a cool comeback too, but that place looked like it was going crazy. And Dampier had some huge plays down the stretch. It was wildly entertaining to watch. But no, you can't backdoor your way into the playoff when you give up nearly 500 yards rushing to K-State. I'm sorry. That Utah's chances of backdooring their way into the playoff are dead after that. I am 100% with you, Ted.
Have to be. I love like the win probability thing that they have going on. And, with like 3 minutes to go in the game, Kansas State had a 97% chance to win the game, and it just goes.
Dampier, to his credit, like an absolute dime late on a touchdown pass and then rips off a huge run to get him in striking distance. Like he did some great things. And of course, this game ended in an Avery Johnson interception. Of course, Kansas State fans had to go through that pain. Dude, they ran for 472 and lost. It was shout out to these two teams though, because in a day that let's be real, just kind of lacked entertaining games. This one was awesome to watch.
It's just crazy. K-State had 3 guys rushing that averaged 12 a carry, 17 a carry, and 18 a carry.
It's the comeback because Utah gives up a touchdown with 7 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. And K-State goes for 2 to try to make it a 14-point game. Utah picks it off and returns it for 2 points to make it 47-37. And it like flipped everything.
Jeez.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man, if you're a K-State fan, you are sick today after losing this game. There's a reason Kleiman was crying, dude. It was brutal to watch unfold.
And they're 5-6, man. 5-6 football team. Is he crying because they lost the game, or is he crying because his job's gone?
I would assume he's crying because they lost the game, and he's crying because he's worried about his job status.
Yep.
But hey, Baylor's holding on to Miranda. With all the jobs that are open,
may not be the year to do it. Yeah.
If you're Kansas State, you're sitting there going, Chris has been a great representative of Kansas State. Let's maybe give him another year. I like Chris Kleiman. Yeah. I like him as a dude. It was to rush for nearly 500 yards and lose a football game it's baffling.
Whew. That's wild.
I'm over here just wanting us to get some 8-yard runs. They ran for nearly 500 and lost, man. I'm over here. At least we're winning, I guess. I guess it puts it in perspective. Hey, winning's the most important thing.
Wow.
Birthday shout outs. Welcome to the world, Lakin Elizabeth Nail.
And
Uh-oh.
welcome to the world, Florence Jean Louise Curtis.
Happy 7th birthday to Ryder Robertson.
Happy 10th birthday to Zoe Smith.
Happy 12th birthday to Will Stone.
Happy 20th birthday to David Emerson.
Happy 34th birthday to Todd Calvert.
Happy 38th birthday to Andy Flores.
Happy 80th birthday to AJ Lonian.
Happy birthday to Josh Scrutter.
And happy birthday to Big Jim Nickel. Nice. On that note, episode 583 in the books. We'll have a new podcast that'll drop on Wednesday morning. That may be out a little earlier than normal. We got to figure that. We'll figure that out after this, yeah. Ted. But with Thanksgiving and everything, we've got TV earlier in the week than normal. So I'm thinking it'll be out a little earlier on Wednesday than it usually is. Just a reminder, please subscribe to the podcast wherever you listen to podcasts, and please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Also, please check out our website, okbreakdown.com, for all of our stuff in one spot. I hope you all have a great start to your week. And until next time, we appreciate y'all for listening. Do what you always do, Oklahoma. Take care of each other.